Okay, I'm on here.
Okay, we're live
It
now.
hasn't come on yet, but yeah.
There it is. Yeah, and it still has. See, I've changed this thumbnail, and there you go. Yeah, we're live. Hello, everybody. Can you see me? Can you see me? Huh? I'm just kidding. Hi, everybody. Today we're joined with Jack. Jack, how do you pronounce your channel name again? Jack.
Deus es Veritas.
Deus es Veritas. Very nice.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about authoritative archetypes and discourse. We're just going to read from which version of the Nag Hammadi? Jack?
So this is the Nag Hammadi codices. Hold on, I've got it up here. Book 6, book 6, chapter 3 of the Nag Hammadi Codex. It's called Authoritative Discourse, Teaching. So,
hey, in the Zoom chat, could you put the link to that?
Yeah, what in the Zoom chat? Do you want to open it up?
Yeah, so I can open it up. Yep.
All right. Zoom chat, yeah. All right. There you go.
Okay, I'm opening it right now. Okie dokie. Gotcha. Origin of the soul is from above.
Yeah, that's the first subheading.
All right, you go ahead and read the first one. I'll read the second one, and we'll correlate how it I don't know, intertwines with our reality and our lives without going into a certain subject. And I'm sure we all know what that certain subject is. So with that,
yeah.
let's get her done.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about authority this last week, and there's like an overload of data out there, and everyone's saying different things, and I was like, God. So literally, I decided to I don't know. It just made me draw to the conclusion that there's really only divine authority. The whole "judge not lest ye be judged" thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
But it's funny how people think that means don't judge others, because you're always judging and comparing all the different data that different people are inputting into you. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And the emotions as well. So, but yeah. So yeah, we'll kick it off then. We'll get straight into it. There's loads of shall I share my screen?
Yeah, if you want to.
People can see it. Okay. Is it sharing?
Yeah, you're sharing your video screen for some reason.
I hate when it does that.
I've tried to recreate the hysteresis loop on, by viewing my own live stream. You can't do that anymore. You know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Oh, that's interesting. All right, let's try again with the old share screen for the benefit of those watching this. I mean, if people are listening to it, they just have to follow along. Right. What about now?
Yep. It's coming up. There it is.
Yeah. All right. If I scroll up and down, does it work on the chat? Yeah, so the origin of the soul is from above.
Yep, go ahead. Hello?
This bit here, isn't it?
What's going on?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
So the origin, yeah, loud and clear, dude. So the origin of the soul is from above, is what it starts with. And the first word is missing. There's loads of lacunas in like the first word. There's like, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 5 missing words where obviously no word was legible in the original scripture. So
that's
I'm
what those
guessing
spaces are?
Yeah, lacunas. Yeah. So I'm guessing the first ones. It says here, there's a subhead in the book. It actually says 5.5 lines are missing or untranslatable. So then it goes in heaven, and then approximately another 3 lines are missing. It says within him. Anyone appear? Yeah, that's really impossible that they've put that in. It's
that's why there's so many interpretations of it from different authors and different authorities, right?
Yeah, well, it's made clear in this book. So that first gap, 5 lines are missing. The second gap, 3 lines are missing, and so one scholar suggested that it says this: authoritative discourse. Before anything came into being, it is the Father of the all, who alone existed, the invisible and hidden one, resting in his incorruptible heavenly glory that was in him before anything was manifest. That's what that scholar, a German guy called Wolf Peter Funk. What a great name. Funk is in funky music.
Nice.
Maybe that's what gave him the authority to translate that with some yeah. So I can't translate the German title he gave it. I don't know if anyone speaks German. Der Volaren Anfang des Authentikos Logos.
Yeah.
Something about the logos, okay? Okay, so anyway.
The authenticated word.
Yeah, we might as well start with the second sentence here then. I mean, before it says, and before the invisible, ineffable worlds appeared. That's interesting, isn't it?
Well, that's the same as the Genesis story in the Bible, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, I think that could be Kabbalistic, because before the invisible, ineffable worlds appeared. So these are, you could say do the archons have ineffability? Would you have to say like, no, they don't, because they manifest physically? I don't know, I'm asking.
Well, I think archon is essentially a thought modality, right? Or a thought archetype, correct? Isn't that what an archon is?
See,
manifest in reality.
Archons, really, like you could say that the rulers. What's the book? The hypostasis of the rulers. Isn't that about like the 7 kingdoms of creation? That's how I understood it when Phil explained it.
Oh, okay, yeah. The accumulation cycle or energy cycle in the manifest world. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So when it talks about ineffable worlds appeared, is this like the beginning of the tree of life, like descending down the tree of life through, because you've got all the different archetypal realms, you could call the Sephiroth.
It's as if we're trying to describe something indescribable. I think that's what ineffable pretty much means. So maybe it's left that because it's hard.
Well, this is what I'm saying. So sorry to
that's all good.
When I see ineffable worlds, it makes me think like, because the Kabbalah is supposedly a map of like invisible realms, you know, that
A way to navigate
just like the archetypal realms, you know, which that they're higher. So I guess the ineffable worlds that appeared would be like the deep unconscious and I guess conscious archetypes.
And what's the first one after mentalism? Correspondence, and you just said it right there.
Is polarity before correspondence?
No. Correspondence is the second one, or it's after mentalism.
If you interesting.
And I guess essentially the quantum string theory in its wholeness.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, because if you think you got stillness and then suddenly, if it's not still, it's moving or vibrating, and everything's vibrating at a rhythm. And the law of correspondence is the same thing as the law of rhythm. That's just a different. I'm sure the law of rhythm is as above, so below, or is it not? No, I'm getting confused on my
correspondence is as above, so below.
Yeah.
So what's manifest, or what's thought of in the mental plane, it can be manifest in the physical through action. And that's what the rest of the rhythm, polarity, and all that other stuff adds to afterwards. See, the accumulation cycle is just that. That's how I see the kingdoms is, the first is the last, which is the mentalism part, the seventh day, the Sabbath, the Sunday, the first day, and then, what comes from that, the eighth day, which is the pleroma, the heaven, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that's the whole cycle in itself.
Yeah. So this is what I'm thinking in conclusion of what you've just said. Ineffable worlds appearing before the invisible. That to me is archetypes of Setharoth, mental archetypes of Setharoth, rather than seven kingdoms manifesting. Because you don't really count the seven kingdoms as ineffable, do you? No, that's an inappropriate description of them. You with me?
Yeah, that's why I say that the ineffable worlds, before the ineffable worlds, that means that I don't know, an indescribable realm. I don't know. I wish I did know, but that's, I think, in essence what ineffable is indescribable. And I think that's where the whole notion of people take away from the Bible when you can't put definition to something that is nothing. I mean, I don't know if that's said in the Bible, but it's how people don't want to seek that which they feel is unknowable. But God is knowable on a personal level. We all know this because it's our person. It's everybody. Yeah,
the Holy Spirit, or Krishna. See, that's what I've concluded. Krishna and the Holy Spirit is exactly the same. But
yes,
there's no difference between that.
Yes.
But yeah,
that's God's communication in literature. Correct, I believe that too.
Yeah,
in concept, in literature, and in whatever. And so go on.
All right, we've so God, we've had like a 5-minute debate on just half a sentence there.
Well, that's how it is, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, not even a debate, just a discussion. But
right.
So
what this will do is tweeze out the real meaning or more substantial meaning from people like Yvonne or even Phil, if he listens to it. But I mean, in other people, their interpretations. Like, and sorry I cut you off again, Jack. I just wanted to say hi to everybody in chat. Sophia Rose came in 8:30. Allie Berry Scratch. Need to know. Nice to see you again, brother. Haven't seen you for a while. Robert, the bus driver's in the house. Milky Way Soul Tribe bus driver. I need the birth date for the puppy, Robert, because my wife is trying to set up shots for it. Who else we got? We've got Charlie Silverleaf, who is in a blue crew. Now you are. Hi to you all. Paul from Newcastle. Scotty Boy. Canadian girl. She's a Blue Crew too. Love you all. Glad you're here. Glad to Krishna was a lawyer, need to know, says. Go ahead now, Jack. I'm sorry I cut you off, brother. My Sky's 5D. How are you, bud?
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. So I was reading here. So from the invisible soul of righteousness came, being a fellow member and a fellow body and a fellow spirit. I didn't read that very well at all. I was kind of struggling to have the rhythm of the sentence, but yeah, so from these, the invisible soul of righteousness came, being a fellow member and a fellow body and a fellow spirit. So yeah, soul, body, and spirit is all created out of the invisible soul. I guess that's pretty cut and dry, that sentence, really, isn't it?
Well, isn't that saying that the one is the three and the three is the one?
Yeah, no, I can see that in there. And that's where you got also the concept of, I know you got the 5 parts of the soul in Kabbalah, but you've also got the 3 parts as well, which is like the human level of it.
The triune of God, like you would call it, right?
Well, this, no, not that exactly. I don't think this is talking about the triune. I think it's talking about the different components. It's more like the 3 gunas here. Do you know what I mean?
And what is the gunas?
Isn't it body, like soul and spirit, or body, mind, and spirit, something like that?
Isn't that the triune of God?
Well, it's the Father,
Son, and Holy Spirit.
The Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yeah. So the body would be the Logos, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Think
the
about
creation.
it. The spirit would be God,
and
then the soul, I guess. The soul's like the universal egg, maybe.
The abyss,
know. Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
The container.
Yeah. The vessel.
Yeah.
The vessel to swim around in the cosmic Abyssian ocean.
Right. What's life says it's the glory of God to conceal a thing. It's the honor of kings to seek out a matter. Proverbs 25:2. Thank you. Cayman 830 says they say the body is a temple, a place for the spirit. This is true. This is Bethlehem, right?
Yeah, that's literally the physiology of your head being the temple, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's all very
the throne of God is our heart, and then the temple would be our brain, right? Or is it the other way around?
Say that again.
Sorry. Is the temple of God in our head, or is the throne of God in our head? I think it's the throne is the heart and the temple is the head, right?
Well, you've got like your temple physically on your head. That's like kind of where your jaws connect. You know what I mean? They call it your temple. So I guess
I never even put that together, dude.
Yeah. So
where maybe your jaw comes together, where the words come out. That's awesome.
Yeah, you could say that the adytum was the innermost sanctuary of a temple. So that would be the pineal light, wouldn't it? That's really what the adytum in any kind of ancient temple would supposedly represent.
This is true. Even the architecture, they built every church in the form of man. Yes.
Yeah, I wonder. It would be interesting to get Phil's take on Solomon's temple. I bet he could have some interesting perspectives on that if he investigated it, because it talks a lot about
the word. Break down the word Solomon.
Soul, oh man.
Yeah. right? So, what is it saying right there?
What does the name Solomon mean? Do you know what the name Solomon
I'll
means?
look it up right now.
Now we're off the topic.
I'm on Etymology Dictionary.com.
Is my screen still being shared?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool.
Okay, now what am I looking for? Solomon?
Solomon name meaning in Hebrew. I'm sure I've looked it up.
Proper name, biblical name, David's son, king of Judah and Israel. And wisest of all men, from Greek Solomon, from Hebrew Shlomo or Shelomo, peaceful, from Shalom, peace. The Arabic form of whatever it says, the common medieval form was Solomon, Vulgate, Tyndall. Solomon was used in the Geneva Bible and King James Version, used elusively for a wise ruler. Related Solomonian, and then I'll go down to the definitions here. Forgive me for reading off that. Old Testament, son of David, king of Israel, noted for his wisdom, 10th century BC.
Interesting.
And now this is how I started breaking down words. Was the first three letters of every word usually tells you the base of that word, right? Okay, now what do you think? What do you think the word Solomon? Pick out the first four letters of that word. What is it? Solo, right? Mm-hmm. Hans Solo. So what does that mean?
Hans Solo.
Solo is like alone.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And I don't know, but Han Solo is from
Star Trek. Oh, not Star Trek. Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah, that was the one.
You must be tired, huh, Jack?
No, I'm all right. It's nearly excuse my language, it's nearly 2 a.m, but no.
I apologize.
Yeah, I haven't got to be up tomorrow, so it's whatever. We can go. Well, we've only read like one line from our thing, haven't we? Two lines. Right.
And it's like the Orion reference that was part of my journey to wake me up to the absolute of it all, because Orion, you look at the word, the first three letters, ORI, what other words start with that in the English or English language? Because every English word stems from, a cacophony of other languages like Hebrew and even Sanskrit, right? So, I mean, they're all born from a certain, everybody says, well, English is not the language they were using back then. Well, it doesn't matter, because our words are born from their words, right?
Right.
So in essence, the word is the word, and the bird is the word. Okay, should we move on? So the righteousness, the soul of righteousness, the invisible soul of righteousness came, right? The origin of the soul is from above.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this as well. It seems to me like, from this definition, like the body exists physically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the spirit is part of pleroma, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the soul is the interconnection, like interface between the two, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yes. So that's why when the soul's reborn in spirit, it's in the kind of the conjunction of reconciliation, or whatever you in the Genesis, or the ascension, both.
That would be the resonant frequency of the good in you, right?
What do you mean by that?
That means that you would be at the resonance of higher vibrations. If you want to think of everything from the energy aspect as, everything in energy or physical realm is of vibration. So you would have to vibrate.
Yeah, it's like kind of converting your spirit into a vibration, your soul. Do you know what I mean? It's like although Yeah, because you have to be a spirit, don't you, to be in that
Yes. So
kind
you
of
have
state. Yeah,
right.
you're a spirit when you're in that state, aren't you?
Well, we're a spirit. We're spiritual beings having a human experience here. That in my we are God's clothes, you know, as far as we the physical. You know, and that's how I see it anyway. And you know, and it's funny that we talked about the jaw, the temple, and you know, and then I correlated that without even thinking that the word is like food and medicine for the soul. You know, because that word is how we communicate intent and substance or sustenance or just content, you know. So I mean, what is the word?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. Well, with words you communicate things that are like substantial, as in like fixed truth, metaphysical substantiality, rather than the. And you also you communicate with the word the like, no, just like transient zeitgeist, hot air, you know. So
bingo.
yeah. Anyway,
anyway, the fact that the whole first as above or the from above is, in my opinion, is the fall of Adam, you know, the first fall, or you know, how we've fallen from the one. And I made a comment today on a video earlier to some channel, I can't remember what it was, but it's like the process of how did I put it? I articulated it then pretty spot on, and it, you know, it was good enough for me to damn near write a dissertation in the comment section like I always do. But it was, God, I can't remember. I hate it when I do that. It was something like we have the process of division. You must overcome the divided. The two become one. So the one became two to therefore embark on the journey to become one again. You know, the whole 2 1 beginning last, first last.
Oh, from that, I really see like polarity. Really, the polarity is really the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end. Like, because I'm starting to see how, and when you're dealing with anything physical or anything with its polar opposite, there's always a point, there's always a middle ground between the two. There's always like an equilibrium between the two. At some point, there's some degree of equilibrium at some point between whatever contrary notions it is. Could be anything, you know.
Yeah, and the alpha and the omega in my understanding is pretty much like you said, the opposite ends of the bookshelf, as well as you know, like anything in the esoteric storehouse that we all possess, there is a yin for a yang and a yang for a yin and yet whatnot. You know how the yin yang symbol has the black inside the white and the white inside the black, and that's television.
Yeah, that's go on. What were you going to say? Sorry to cut you off. Go on.
No, and you know, this whole thing with the zeitgeist lately, in just looking into the medical aspect of how our cells divide, and how it's like a miniature war inside of us, as far as, you know, there's these white blood cells, there's these red blood cells, there's, you know, everything has a push and a pull, and you know, and that's what we're getting at with the archetypes, right? The whole 7 kingdoms, you know, every little thing, from every little thing to every grand thing, has the same template, and that is the accumulation cycle of the energy cycle, you know. And that's what we're talking about here, I think. You know, the authoritative discourse is the law, right?
Well, what's the law? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. If you wanted to like just recapitulate the whole thing. Definitely. But what I found, we'll see this. So this next line here, yeah. If we go on to this third line, God, we're making slow progress to this, but it's whatever. It says whether she is, so the soul is described as feminine, whether she is in the descent or is in the pleroma, the fullness, she is not separated from them, so the body and the spirit, but they see her and she looks at them in the invisible world. That's interesting. What was I just saying about the soul? It's like in both, isn't it? It's in the invisible and the visible. It's a weird concept, isn't it? The soul.
Well, and I like how we're calling it the soul.
It's the ultimate operating system, isn't it?
Yes. It's the abyss.
Well, you could think about it that way. I guess because you're in the it's weird, isn't it?
The unmanifest potential of all, the unmanifest potentiality, and that's what pretty much the mindscape is, the soul. I mean, you can't really consider the mind in the physical as the soul. So what is next?
Yeah. It's weird that, isn't it?
That's pretty weighty, pretty heavy, pretty deep.
Yeah, it is.
And this right here, the for next words is secretly her bridegroom fetched it. Secretly her bridegroom fetched it. What is it? The soul?
So the bridegroom's God, right? So secretly her, the soul, her bridegroom, God, fetched it in secret. So that means, is that talking about the fact that meeting?
Oh no, the word is the word is it that they're talking about.
Well, the pineal light.
Yes, the logos. Yes. He presented it to her mouth to make her eat it like food, and he applied the word to her eyes as a medicine to make her see with her mind and perceive her kinsman and learn about her root, in order that she might cling to her branch from which she had first come from, or forth, and come forth in order that she might receive what is hers and renounce matter. Bingo, baby. That's crazy. So
that's quite
that's the process, dude.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, that's the process of enlightenment, because what is the divine union? And what does it produce? The word. What is the word? The word is the logos, the light, the communication from God. Or the reproduction with God, which is us all. In the spiritual form.
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, more straightforward in this sort of wording and teaching than it is in the Bible. That's for sure. Because they're making a distinction between matter and what is hers. You first have to figure out what she is, and what she is the medium or the field in which all takes place, the meeting place, the tent, probably, I think the tent would be the abyss too, wouldn't
it? Well, you think about the tabernacle, it's like a tent, isn't it? Yep. And then you've got the Ark of the Covenant sitting there, and you can't touch it. If you're a priest and you touch it, you die. Right? Something crazy like. Yeah. I that sentence kind of tripped me out. I kind of feel like do you want to read it again, or or shall I read
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I'll read it again.
You got to read.
Okay, the word is like food and medicine for the soul. So just focus on that first. And then secretly her bridegroom fetched it, the word. He presented it to her mouth to make her eat it like food. And he applied the word to her eyes as a medicine to make her see with her mind and perceive her kinsman and learn about her root, in order that she might cling to her branch from which she had first come forth, in order that she might receive what is hers and renounce matter.
All right. So who are her kinsmen?
What are her kinsmen? Her kinsmen
who and perceive her kinsmen. Surely that's the ability to understand, like, the incarnated angels and perceive them, and maybe ones that are disincarnate. Who knows?
Well, it's funny when I see this. He applied the word to her eyes as a medicine to make her see with her mind. And I instantly connected that to how you visualize things in your mind's eye, how you can do a thought experiment in your mind's eye and form things and go through a thought process and tweeze out certain aspects of what you're trying to learn about. And I think this is what Tesla did when he'd go to bed at night when he had a problem. He'd do that sort of thing, where he'd play this mental projection in his own head. And Phil has even mentioned this, where that's how he came to understand a lot of things, and I'm trying to do this more and more too, where I'll think of what I'm thinking of and apply what I know about it to that image and, try to figure out what's missing from that image. And I think that kinsmen may be the accumulative precursors to everything that we are and anything that we are, as far as the cumulative cycle, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, gender, and then back to mentalism again. So maybe those 6 previous to the gender or us are our kinsmen, and then we perceive how the world works and how physical creation is manifest from the spirit. How does that sound? Did that sound like
interesting?
A used car salesman trying to sell you some swampland in the middle of the desert? Because that's what it felt like. Snake oil salesman, yeah.
No, not at all, dude. Not at all. I mean, well, you've just theorized it as pretty much the opposite thing that I theorized it to be. So,
right.
But maybe like the word to her eyes as a medicine to make her see with your. I see what you mean by your explanation you've just offered there when I reread it. You see with your mind.
See with your mind, and
what you look. Yeah, that's.
That's pulling from the Akashic record, or your Akashic storehouse.
Does that mean you got to become telekinetic to defeat the Archon aliens, kind of like Neo in the Matrix?
Right. Look at I spoke, and the gods have delivered. Yvonne Gordon's in the house. That's pretty awesome. Everything that has the power seems to be invisible. When the spirit leaves the body, it has no more power at all. Our TV needs invisible power to give pictures to. Understanding invisible is power.
Yeah. So I guess in order that she might cling to her branch from which she had first come forth, that's talking about like keeping faith in
the good root. Yes.
God. Yeah. That's you keep your faith.
Yeah.
Or you just, basically, or you have your knowing and you have your like knowing and your understanding and your wisdom. That would be clinging to, like, in a Kabbalistic sense of thinking about it, that'd be clinging to your kind of Ayin Sof and the other veils of Kether, or even beyond that.
Yes.
Very interesting, hey?
Yeah, it's very interesting. And, you know, this is what I live for, is talks like this and just getting everybody to, you know, bounce their knowing or learning, or just to be experiencing the same zeal for what we truly are. You know what I mean? And
what you
like
mean?
Need to know. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Oh, my phone timed out. I thought I lost you guys.
No,
sorry, I'm cutting you off. Need to know says an awesome sentence here, or statement, and it harkens to my heart and my mind, because you think of the Egyptians. A picture paints 1,000 words, and we speak into existence. Visualization is very powerful, but its action is created by our words. Very nice. Like a hieroglyph, you know, you could look at a hieroglyph all day long. It's going to tell you what that hieroglyph means, that picture, you know, whereas an English language word can be the same thing, but it could mean several different things.
Yeah, interesting.
Sorry, I cut you off, bud.
No, I can't even remember what I was going to say back then, but we were talking about cling to her branch, weren't we? From which she had first come forth. We were trying to figure out what that is. And I guess receive what is hers. Well, I guess that's the birthright of the soul versus the ego, isn't it? Really.
Or
in order that she might receive hers and renounce matter. Well, it's like, remember Yvonne was saying that you got Jacob and Esau, and even though Esau's the second born, he gets the birthright because he's the soul. And awareness of the soul comes after awareness of the ego, you know.
Oh yeah. I had a freaking kick me in the ass moment today when I realized I was looking at my kid's picture on the wall, and my kid used to be very fearful of everything. And I realized right then, it hit me like a ton of bricks, because I used to, you know, get on him and say, do you think I'd bring you somewhere? Or, you know, he'd be in the boat and he'd be scared of waves and, you know, motion in the boat. He had this sensitivity thing to like slippery surfaces and stuff. But I realized that I was building his ego to survive in the world. And now his ego has gotten so big, and it comes at me, and it just makes me cringe. And I'm trying to get it out of him now. And it's it's weird, dude. It's weird. You know, it's like I build this ego in my kid so he can survive and protect himself in the world. And now I'm ashamed of doing it.
Well, yeah, I'm not a father. I don't have a kid, so I don't really have the authority to correlate to your experience. However, from being a son and having a father, I can tell you, I've pissed my dad off a whole lot of times throughout my life, dude. Like, Jesus.
I think we all did that with our dad. I miss my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're an awful lucky dude to have your dad still.
Well, yeah, let's see how he gets on. But yeah. Anyway, he's not my real dad, he's just my mortal dad. But yeah. We on the third. Did we get to this bit? The soul is like a child among stepchildren. It's just the third heading. Am I still screen sharing, Steve?
Let me check. I was looking at the chat. Yes, you are.
All right. Okay, because I know if you click off it, it can disappear. But anyway.
Hang on, let's hang on that branch for a second here. I'm going to ask everybody what they think of her clinging to her branches so she can claim what's hers, and and renounce matter.
Yeah,
what does that mean to everybody? I'd like to hear everybody's opinion on that. Is what they pull from that, because these sort of things, in my opinion, are the questions that when you ask yourself, and they make you think deeply, as to what spirit really is. And, I think that these are the questions that we really need to ask ourselves and come to terms with and understanding, so we can get further in our journeys. And I really appreciate you for bringing this up today, Jack, because it's like spot on in my life right now. And it's weird how the Spirit's been working that way in me lately, and bringing me to certain individuals and certain people and certain situations. And it's like even my kid getting the vid, lately was like great. It was cosmic timing because of what was going on in my mind and in my soul and my journey, because the womb is here to gestate you, to develop you or to develop the soul and tweeze out, that which is right and that which is wrong, right? I mean, I think that's what we are here to define ourselves in a sea of shit and come up smelling like roses, right?
Well, that's like the tyranny of the zeitgeist acting on your soul, making your spirit form. I'm sure I'm sure that's happening to me at the moment, because I don't even know. Man. This is a weird world we live in, dude.
The weirdness is because we've made it that, though, I think. And let me get this out of the way. I take full responsibility for my account in this world, for everything I have done and everything I have contributed to the fall of our society, to the rise of our society. I will come to terms at one mentally with every bit, piece, part of what I've contributed and what I've taken from this world.
Every time you ordered a McDonald's, man. I'm joking.
Right. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when I say like it's a weird world we live in, I mean, like, think how many like billions of worlds are out there with life on it, quite possibly. And I would not be surprised. I'd be much more surprised if it was just Earth alone. But I don't think that could be the case. The universe seems too large, seems too unlikely. Do you know what I mean? But like, not talking about like any kind of alien stuff, but my point is just like, yeah, I don't know, man. Strange, isn't it? It's just life is very I don't know. It evokes a lot of curiosity, I guess.
Yeah, and if you're reading chat, people are saying that it's the rulers that are to blame, and not us common folk. And
well, yeah, I don't mean it. Well, yeah, there's that element to it as well. But like,
how can anybody honestly say that we're one and then say that there's somebody else to blame?
Yeah, well, you look at like the quest Frodo has to go on, right? To like basically in his ascension, in his hero story, he's got to deal with so much crap, from like evil. Right. Yeah, he's got to deal with so much, but he's still better. Even at the end, where he like goes psychotic and Sam helps him out to like. Sam and Gollum help him out because Gollum actually bites his finger off, doesn't it? Yes. So and then Gollum gets the ring and falls in. So I don't know why I brought that up. Well, that's why I brought up the Lord of the Rings, because life is kind of like a quest, really, isn't it? It's like we're playing some RPG game.
Journey, man.
Yeah, there's like 30, however many people on chat. We're all doing this joint quest right now. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of improvising thought here and seeing what comes up.
Well, that's what we are to do. We are to be in the now, not to be in the past or be in the future or be in fear or be in this, be in that. It's to be in the now and to be love, I think. Yeah. And regardless of what's going on in the world, we can change it through individual atonement, guys. That's what atonement really means, is to be at one mentally with everything, in my opinion. And I'm not, by no means am I a guru, by no means am I telling anybody what to think. And because each one of us is important in our journeys. And, even if you're here disagreeing with me, I love you for disagreeing with me, because that's what I need, just to get the things in my thought processes stirring, because, you can only think so much by yourself without going in circles,
Well, that's the social nature of human beings. They need to, you need to like bounce ideas off other people. Although with media brainwashing, that becomes increasingly difficult at this time, unfortunately. But anyway, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there.
But think of that as how we fool ourselves and lie to ourselves on a daily basis about what we're doing at home and what we're showing the public. Think about that, guys. Each one of us has a skeleton in our closet that we're not going to tell a fucking soul about. Be honest with yourself. Be honest.
I don't know. I've pretty much.
Right?
God, I haven't done
we all have skeletons. Every one of us do.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, but it's like
it's hard as hell. It's hard as hell to even fathom that the evil of this world is part of me. But I've done plenty of it myself. So I take full responsibility for my part in it, and I'm never going to project it onto anybody else other than myself. Because I'm not saying that evil is to be ignored, right? We don't want to do that, because what happens then? Thrown to the line.
You do have to. Well, personally, on my journey, I have felt it necessary to try and understand the nature of evil. Definitely. It's like, if Frodo didn't understand the nature of evil and like fucking ran and hid all the time, because usually he's running from it, or he's captured. Like, when he's dressed up as an orc, when they're surrounded by all the orcs and they're dressed up pretending to be orcs, he's got to like blend in to stay on his quest. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He has to kind of like hide in plain sight almost. I don't know. It's just like I was thinking about the weirdness of life, and I don't know. Seeing to see life as a quest will give you a much richer experience, I think, than.
That's why the tarot deck, the hero, the fool, is essentially, to me, the hero's journey. What every movie tells us, everything. I mean, the repetitive notion that keeps on giving to us through living through the eyes, or like we put ourselves in the hero's spot in every movie we watch, regardless if you want to think that or not. But that's why your heart is beating fast. That's why you're into it. That's why when the hero dies, you hate the movie. That's
I was reading about this earlier. Actually, there's certain neurons that we have that if we're watching an experience or watching something on the TV, those neurons can't differentiate whether it's someone else's experience we're watching or our own experience we're having. Something along those lines. It's interesting you brought that up. Like when you...
Wick on Fire comes in and says, you become what you consume. Think about that. Both.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Literally and literally, meaning that you take in the thoughts, processes of the world, you're going to become that.
See, yeah, that's definitely law of rhythm right there, like becoming in sympathetic with resonance with other things, and also like rhythm in an input-output system, like a certain frequency physical thing is going in, and then something's coming out, and no, is it me, or is it increasingly more difficult to like consume really, really healthy stuff in society, or is it my imagination? Maybe
No, it's because of our clickbaitish, instant gratification-ish, need it now, happiness now type society that we've turned into, because we have lost our path to the Almighty, to the oneness, to what we truly are. We've fallen so far that, you know, people are lost in an
oversaturation of convenience.
Yes. That, and you know, there's so much. The information ecology out there is so lacking in the positive. Everything has got to be fear. Click on this and you'll get the whole scoop, and then you click on it and then you gotta go through ads, and you know, all of this shit is all money based. Our whole financial system is against us in the spiritual sense, you know.
What do you mean our financial institutions are against us in a spiritual sense? Or
because money is the antithesis of evil. It is where evil is born.
All right, let me ask you this then. If you steal someone's time, are you like vampiring off their soul?
No, because the person that you're stealing the time from has the opportunity to not give you their time.
Go fuck yourself. Yeah. I'm not.
It's the truth, though. We all have the opportunity to do one.
I'm not paying my property taxes ever again. Go fuck yourself. You're not stealing my time anymore. See how that goes.
Right. And we are poisoning everything, Thoth. We are destroying all the resources. We are killing all life in a mad dash to collect a bunch of make-believe monopoly money. This is true. This is the evil of our world. And, you know, that is live backwards. To live is to be evil, you know, and whether or not that's just a stupid word salad caption, I don't know. But it sure makes sense to me that, you know, the devil is the ruler of this world, and the devil is in all of us.
Yeah, I was actually looking up the etymology of Satan, and really it's adversary, the adversary of God, and all that really is that matter is the opposite or adversary of spirit, which is the invisible versus the invisible are manifest versus the visible manifest. But I mean, how is it that which is invisible and non-manifested is the only thing that's real? It's such a strange, bizarre concept when you're in physical reality to think about, you know.
It's like how from nothing everything is, and how infinity and finite have an inverse proportional relationship within us, you know. And we can step and trod and try to get away from God, but there's no telling how far we will go unless.
Oh, what are you talking about in debasement, in the fall?
Yeah.
Like how right, okay. Yeah, well, some souls go further than others in that debasement, it seems.
Yes.
How do you know you and me weren't like say 500 lifetimes ago, you and me?
You know, I've accepted my lot, whether it be
but this is what I'm asking you, Steve. Like, my question here: what if, like, say, 1,000 incarnations ago, like you and I and the people in chat, we were on some planet and we all owned all the central banks and manipulated the fuck out of
exactly. Thank
and
you.
we were very psychopathic back then.
Thank you. Thank you, dude. That's exactly what I try to. Yeah, exactly. That's beautiful, dude.
I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Well, who knows?
God knows, literally.
Yeah, it would teach you in your spirit that, you know, you can't cast the stone unless you You know, you can't throw stones at a glass house or whatever that saying is, but you can't judge lest be, judged. And weren't we talking about that earlier? The judging thing before we went live. And what did you say about that?
Who lives in a glass house? No one lives in a glass. Does anyone... I'm just thinking about that statement, like, don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. No, it's just, I just find that interesting because I know, like, glass in, like, magic corresponds to the sign of Aquarius. And so does, and so I don't know. It's a weird statement that. I think it's a weird saying. Oh yeah, don't run your mouth if you've got a glass jaw. That's the other one, isn't it?
Yeah. The old ruling families and shit, feudalism, yes. And to the extent of our potentiality, we sure like to limit ourselves in our adherence to the thinking there is a thumb over you holding you down. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yes,
you are what you consume.
I do.
Like Wick on Fire said earlier, you are what you consume. What you consume is more than your food.
Severity of physical matter, isn't it? It is severe. Maybe that's why you said, if you think about it, to live is to be evil,
Well, to live in an unpious manner, to live without love, without unfathomable care for the whole, that's where all of these ancient, like the American Indians, the Native Americans, they had issues with all the people around them, but what did they call the earth? Their mother. How did they treat the earth? With respect, right? So I mean,
it's true.
They, and I don't like saying the word they, but in a past tense, in a descriptive manner, when I'm saying they in this instance, I'm saying they as in the indigenous population of North America. They existed here far longer than we've been here. And, as soon as we show up, we take them out and get them further away from, get all of us further away from what we truly are, the oneness of all of us in love and respect for our planet. And what happens? The planet starts taking a nosedive, right? I mean, ever since industrial, intellectual, whatever you want to call it, has happened in the last 200 years, what has happened? Our population's gone up, and what else has gone down?
See, here's a wacky theory then. What if, like, some alien race is controlling humanity and they're releasing this technology incrementally, and they're like parasitic, and like it's like a psychopathic parasitic hive mind that's infected humanity? It almost seems like that at times. You even have that kind of archetype in films. There's been a lot of films like Body Snatchers with who's that black guy? Forrest Whitaker. Like, I don't know why I went on that segue and started talking about parasite aliens, but because I don't know, I read something, I don't know what it was, is where I think it was like a Christian video. It was like a Christian conspiracy video, but the guy made an interesting comment. He said, what if, like, for like good, like, kind of, spiritual people, the idea of like pleroma is heaven is pleroma, but to like wicked, evil doing spirits, hell is like heaven to them, or the cosmos is like heaven to them. Like, I don't know. But,
well, it's like the term Luciferianism. You can see that term as somebody that's just keeping the material riches of the material world, you know? And that's
Did you see? Go on. You were going to say?
No, go ahead. I'm going.
I was going to say, did you see Rudolf Steiner's like little diagram? So he's basically like got a cross-sectional graph with 4 like quadrants. Oh, there's like 4 quadrants, and like Christ is in the middle, which would be like the y-axis, and on the x-axis, the horizontal either side. On one side you have like Lucifer, and the other side is the entity he described as Ahriman. So like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of going with Rudolf Steiner on his prophecy. He was pretty good. Not that we're going to go into that here, but sorry, I just opened a can of rabbit hole. I just started going down the rabbit hole, didn't I, Steve?
Yeah, you tend to do that a lot, and I think it's because you're tired.
No, it's
tired of the bullshit.
I haven't. Yeah, that's probably.
No, you've up and removed yourself from something that obviously you needed to remove yourself from, and you're kind of regretting removing yourself from that and putting yourself in another situation that you had no clue you were stepping into. But like I said earlier, brother, things happen for a reason.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
Or not for the fire, the trial would be fruitless, because the fire is the thing that will open your soul up to the ineffable that is, because we never seek anything better when everything is good.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, this is the thing. It's like consulting like the Nag Hammadi or the Bible, whatever scripture you want to look at. When you understand the basic blueprint of exegesis that spans across all of them, I find these texts are like they're like robust. They're so fucking robust, man. Like,
well, look we only got through 2 sentences.
It doesn't matter whatever's going on in the outside world. If you like dip into this text like we've done and just started reading it and contemplating on it, discussing it, whatever, does really like give like much. It gives like relief from the severity of physical Babylon. Do you know what I mean?
But what's so severe about it, brother? What is so severe about this place? We're already gonna die. We're already dead, man.
Yeah, we can't be too like nihilistic in that. You still got to navigate and deal with.
Well, right. I mean, you could enjoy it while you're here. You
mean like
it's 1999? I mean, enjoy it by loving everybody around you and just making life around you better, because that's the only world we can change, people, is our own. Period. There is no amount of money that we can come up with that will change the perspective of the financial world as a whole, because we are just little tiny drops in a bucket when it comes to that shit. But we are the bucket when it comes to the other shit. Now, that's how I see it, and I know I sound worked up about it, but I mean, it's like I'm pounding my head against a brick wall when it comes to, we can only change our own worlds, like you did in the physical sense, Jack. You up and moved your ass out of the United States. You changed your fucking world, right?
Well, not
your world
really.
is different now, right?
Well, yeah, it is, but I mean, it's still life. You still got to deal with all the same.
Now, if you wanted somebody to come with you and they didn't want to come with you, could you get them to go with you?
Can only lead the horse to the water, is the saying.
Right. You can't even lead a horse to the water anymore. You can only point to the water. You can't lead them, because if you grab them, you're getting arrested, or, the cancel culture gets a hold of you, so what does this tell us?
Well,
no, seriously.
Yeah.
You go to grab the horse, you're a horse thief, and you're going to get hung.
No, you can just lead the horse, metaphorically speaking.
I'm joking, dude.
Oh, fair enough. I didn't realize. I thought you just started drilling down a rabbit hole yourself.
No, I was just trying to make my point that we can only change our world, our own world. We can affect other people's worlds. You know, that's the whole cause and effect of the 7 kingdoms. We can affect other people's worlds through the perfect cause. If you want, start a cause. You know, start a cause, do a cause, be the cause.
Actually, it was a new moon in Libra today, so that would be a good time to start like a new new ideas. It's an auspicious time to start like contemplating on like new ideas and stuff. But going back to what I was saying, like when I say these texts are like robust, they're robust in as much as that like they're very good at describing things that are like timeless and ineffable and immutable. Do you know what I mean? And I find like if I read through these texts, like if we like have a chat and we go through like this stuff, I always feel better after it. Always, you know, from exploring these scriptures, it always makes me feel better. I never feel more down after reading this kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I hear you.
I actually find it really enjoyable, to be honest. Even though we stumble around in the dark sometimes, you know.
Well, we always do because we haven't. Okay, I'm going to read a couple comments. They're talking about kicking the bucket takes a different meaning. Sleuth. That means that's what need to know means.
There's an interesting one from Yvonne there. I got my chat on the phone. She talks about the kinsman.
Go ahead.
The kinsman, other parts of the soul, which was broken into many, every part receiving its own body matter to overcome in terms of consciousness.
Nice. Yeah, would be everything.
That's the Isis and Osiris. He's broken in pieces, isn't he? And he's got to get put back together.
Well, Humpty Dumpty, yeah.
Or Humpty Dumpty. Yeah, because Humpty Dumpty's an egg. He's like a big fucking giant egg, isn't he?
There's the reason why you had this chat tonight. Was that
a yeah. No, but I recognize that Humpty Dumpty sitting on the wall.
Yeah, on the fence, dude.
What's it? The wall between? It's the wall.
The wall is her, dude. Maybe the wall is the wall. You know that first sentence you read about the soul is from above, and what was the last verse of it?
The what from above?
What was the last verse?
I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to.
He is not separated, or being a fellow member, you know, a fellow body, and a fellow spirit.
From the first. Okay,
yeah.
I understand what he's talking about. From the first paragraph. Yeah.
Is the wall
if you think of a wall a wall's a physical barrier between two spaces, right?
Yep.
So you could say, like, on one side of the wall for Humpty Dumpty would be the abyss and the cosmos, and on the other side is like heaven or pleroma, the unmanifest, right? Because he's the Humpty Dumpty's the soul sitting on the wall.
Yeah, could be.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Even the wall. Yeah, it's very interesting to think about it like that, isn't it?
The shattering of Kabbalah.
Man, who wrote it? It's amazing that the nursery rhymes that have like survived the test of time are all very, very deep and esoteric, aren't they? There's very small parables.
Mother Hubbard, who lived in a cupboard. You know. What is that one about?
Oh yeah, I remember. It's all the king's horses and all the king's men put Humpty Dumpty back together again. So there's a specific mention to royalty in that sentence as well.
And who are those? Who has the authority to be the king in your life? You know, our horses and our men would be
like
our beliefs and our misconceived notions of the world, maybe.
don't know. I could say your horses and men, all the king's horses and all the king's men is all other. I don't know. Maybe it's like the king's men, the men sent by the king, would be like your gurus, but your proper gurus, not your new age, not stuff. Like, I mean, your genuine guru, someone who genuinely knows what they're talking about, someone who has the authority to discourse on the nature of your soul to you from their own experiential knowledge of Kabbalah. That's maybe what that means.
Or it could just simply mean that you're the king and your horses and your men are your thoughts and your deeds or your actions and your works and what you think life is, and what your frame of reference is. Can you put the egg back together again? Can you figure out what is wrong and what doesn't fit? What doesn't
so you're saying, like, basically the king's horses and the king's men are like helping you re-embark or just embark on the great work, essentially, to put you back together, to put your soul, to put your pieces of your soul back together. It's interesting as well because
it's like the clay. It's like the clay of the pyramid analogy that Phil gave me about, with this clay I will build my pyramid. It's the process of the great work, from hero to hero, or from fool to hero, or from neophyte to hierophant.
Right? Yeah. No. But I mean, yeah, you can. There's a lot of ways of.
I would like everybody in the chat right now to just read what you guys are talking about. Consume the words you are putting down in the chat, every one of you, and not just look at it for what it is, you guys. Seriously, look at it, guys, and where your minds are. You're buying into the illusion that is Maya. Everything you're talking about in chat is an illusion. And it's beset upon you in your own mind, and therefore takes hold in the world. Whether or not it's true, or whether or not it's bad or good, everything we focus on brings it to light in our mind. So therefore it affects us. Seriously, guys. Everything is, we are the definers of our worlds.
Yeah, I was just going to say to you, Steve, you can only lead the horse to the water, hey?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. You predicted this exact thing when we went live. You predicted that this is what's going on in all chat rooms.
Yeah, troublemakers in the chat talking about, well, I mean, the chat's going to do what the chat's going to do, bro.
Travis says, it wasn't me, man. I'm not blaming anybody.
Hey, I tell you, man, when I'm in those live chats, it's like I get possessed by this jinn that makes me just
everybody does
shit.
It's human nature, man. It's human nature, and I get it because I do it too.
Yeah,
I get it too, and it's from
talking about employers.
Yeah, he's pissed off about taxes and money right now, and
Yeah, join the club. Oh, well, actually, there's been a fuel crisis here in England.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Do you know what? It hasn't affected me at all, Steve. Do you know why?
Because you don't have a fucking car.
And I ain't got nowhere to be. So
right.
Fuck their fuel crisis.
Exactly, dude.
Although I think what happened, just to appease the chat here, is that the oil company saw how the pharmaceutical companies just using the media, and they sat down and went, hold on, see, this is the new
we want more attention.
Yeah, they were like, hold on, if the pharmaceutical companies are using the media to plunder the public, we'll have some of that.
Oh man, I haven't laughed this hard in a while, dude. Thanks, man. That was pretty good.
I'm glad you laughed, man.
No, that was
Glad
sweet,
you
dude.
found it
That
funny.
was pretty good. I mean, come on. Isn't that the truth, though? In our world, we are constantly bombarded with something to be scared of. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything in our world is here to make us scared. Why? Because we are on the third rock, guys. We are in the fear factory. 3 is the number of, the promotion of fear. And fear is the fetter that binds your soul to this sphere or plane of existence.
That's interesting, because you said sphere. You said fear, and then you said it binds you to this sphere.
That's why I corrected myself and said plane of existence.
There's a lot of fear in this sphere, babe. The sphere of fear. Babylon. Yeah, I just love the way the West Indians refer to the cosmos as a Babylon man. I think it's brilliant. It really,
what is it? What is that?
Oh, they just call when the government or police are giving them a hard time to go, Bumba Clot de Babylon.
Nice. Oh god.
No, it's just a very this chat's very Babylonian, I'm afraid.
It is right now. I'm like lost in my own chat going, what the hell are they talking about? But yeah, I mean, the shit show is the shit show for a reason, guys. Pinch your nose, get through it, and try to smell the roses. That's all I can tell you. No, it is all about money, Cayman, and money is, it's needed, obviously, because that's the game we play in this world, and I say game, and I'm not saying it's all about game theory and all this, and we're not NPCs and all that other bullshit, because I don't believe there is any soulless individual, because the soul is one thing. Whether or not you want to accept it, develop it, gestate it.
You said the soul. You said the soul is one thing.
The soul is one thing.
Did you say the soul is one thing?
The soul is a signal that we all receive, and the soul develops within us. If we receive it correctly, and it maturates within us, grows within us. It's the bread part of Bethlehem. Through good process, good ingredients, and faith, bread rises, just like spirit, soul, and man. Or wait, there's two different things. Spirit and soul are two different things, right? I always get
it's just like it's the blueprint. It's like the basic blueprint of an alchemical recipe.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Yes,
it is the alchemical recipe
process. What is that? Was that Arthur Young that said process is all?
Yeah.
Was that Arthur
Young?
One
of the headings here, I don't know, to be honest.
Maybe the soul
was it Arthur Young? Maybe spirit. It was. Yeah, it seems to me like the soul's the link between matter and spirit.
Yeah, that would be the
link, right? Isn't it? Because Humpty, that's why Humpty Dumpty sits on the wall. Why is he sitting on a wall?
Because he's on the fence. Whether he's
like sitting on the fence, yeah. No, it's like the soul has.
He's on the fence whether or not he should get the jab or not. I just had to say it.
And they gave him the jab, and that made him fall off.
No, he's on the fence, on the wall, whether or not he should get it or not.
Yeah.
And I'm kidding, of course, because I'm neither for nor against anything that I'm talking about as far as that pokey man thing. And if you've gotten it, more power to you. And I'm actually debating whether or not I should get it because my kid just got sick with it. So I don't know. But
hey, I thought we weren't going to talk about.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to talk about it. That's all I'm going to say about it. Every character in The Lord of the Rings is also within us. Recognizing the parts within and overcoming them without projecting them will free us. Baby, bingo. Why couldn't I articulate that in that such free flowing wise way? Right? I mean, that is exactly what I was trying to say. Word for freaking word, but it wasn't coming out of my mouth right. Every character in The Lord of the Rings is also within us. Recognizing that all those characters are within you, meaning the zeitgeist, the media, the people, the they of the world, and overcoming them, meaning, overcoming them without reproducing their fervor out into the world, that will free us. That changes our world, right? That's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. I might just take a quick smoke break. Do you want to read this next part? Are we going to get through this? We're not going to get through the whole thing. Look,
no, but I'll go as long as you want to go, brother. I mean, as far as
yeah,
I feel kind of guilty because I haven't talked to you in a while, and you don't have
to feel guilty. I'm not.
Well, I try to make time for all my friends and all my endeavors in life, and I noticed that you texted me or tried to get a hold of me a couple days ago, and I just realized it today, and I was like, oh man, so I wasn't trying to ignore you.
Oh no, it doesn't matter.
But that's why I was just explaining why I felt
ignored
at that. So yeah, go have a cigarette, man. Go kill yourself.
Oh, is it still sharing my screen? Sorry,
yes,
I keep asking, but if I click off, I don't know what will happen. Yeah, I was just seeing that these headings are crazy. Like this one, the heading of this is "The Father establishes a contest in the world." That's very interesting, isn't it?
I like this is like wheat mixed with the chaff.
There is, yeah. That is a good one, isn't it? There's a lot of
because the wheat and the chaff are two different things. Yet the process of separating that is what gets us to the knowing, to the light.
You ain't getting. Plus, you're not getting no wheat without no chaff.
And
now we have Monsanto. And now the alien parasites created Monsanto, genetically modified the wheat, so people are gluten intolerant. Something about that in the Bible. I'm joking.
If you knew your anger, remember Tesla. Tesla said so. Elsie says, remember Tesla. If you knew your anger was physically harming a child on the other side of the planet, would you still get angry?
So is he talking about the law of mentalism there?
Sophia.
No, Tesla.
Oh, Tesla.
That was a Tesla quote.
He's talking about spooky action at a distance, string theory, quantum.
Oh, yeah.
Connectedness of everything, because whether or not you want to believe it or not, we are all connected through the one.
Instantaneous, like motion at a distance, instantaneous. Yeah.
Every action has an equal and opposite reaction on your paired. For every thesis, there's an antithesis. For every molecule, there's an anti-molecule. And that speaks huge if you wrap your mind around that. The first atom, the fall, and we're all trying to get back to the first atom again, right? What does that mean? What is an atom? It's a man. It's a particle.
What is it?
It's a surfactant.
An atom or an atom or both.
Whatever, they sound the same, don't they, in the English language?
Yeah.
Atom. I mean, I think that's why they go Adam or atom or atom. Yeah. Cause and effect. Yes, that is string theory. Spooky action at a distance. Yes, cause and effect. For the perfect cause Or for the perfect effect, you must seek the perfect cause. And that's through action. And which is first born through mind, through thought. And it's just like the triune of God again. If you really think about it, the brass tacks of everything is all within us. And, it's that simple. And we have convoluted it to the point where we have to buy and sell it for people to even put their eyes to it. For if it isn't for sale, ain't no one buying it, brother. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, I think I would have to end it there, Steve, because I've realised it's nearly 3 a.m. I'm getting a bit tired. So
all right, brother, you can head off to bed and you have sweet dreams, and we'll do this a little sooner in the day when I get some free time. So
we didn't get that far through it. We only got 3. Well, we didn't even get to the 3rd paragraph, dude.
No, I didn't.
The soul is like a child among stepchildren. Yeah.
And it's funny that you just said that.
Oh, no, this one's really hard to interpret as well.
Yeah, because Yvonne's comment as you were reading that is, we are put in animal suits to learn how to handle the forces of desire and intention and keep them in balance. This is maturity. We graduate to the next level to help those who have to learn it next. And that is how we of this star are replaced by a spawn of a lower, you know what I mean? And why is it that a star is everything to our human intellect? Right?
Yeah. Oh man, it's pretty deep. Yeah.
All right, brother. You have a good night, man. Sweet dreams.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna get going. But this, I was just having a look through this, man. It's pretty deep. It's like hella deep. This next bit, the third paragraph of Authoritative Discourse. I'm not gonna go into now, man, because I'm fading, because I'm feeling tired now. But yeah, we'll chat another time, dude. We'll continue this.
Yeah, and I'll do it in an earlier time slot, so you can have your brain about you, because I can tell you were off because you were tired.
Yeah,
please forgive me for not getting back to you sooner, brother.
No, it's all right, no bother, man. But I mean, are you going to go on?
Yeah, I'll just go on, just to I don't know, lay down my philosophy on what I think our conversation here entailed, and how I think we it's just going to be a repeated message that is repeated since eternity, since the beginning of time. And go within or go without, get busy living or get busy dying. It's that simple, folks. I'm out. Mic drop. Bye. No.
Yeah, this is it, isn't it? Like, because what you were just saying there, like whatever nonsense is taking place in our world at large at this current time, which there usually is a lot of nonsense taking place. I mean, like what it said here, right? It says this. I'll read on because it concludes it quite well. It's, when a man marries a woman who already has children, the natural children of the man, conceived from his semen, call the children of the woman our siblings. Similarly, when the spiritual soul was cast into a body, it became a sibling to lust, hatred, and envy, that is, to material souls. So the body came from lust, and lust came from material substance. That is why the soul became a sibling to them. So that's why it says the soul is like a child among stepchildren. It's that's a very interesting concept, isn't it? And this is what I'm saying. Like, so the stepchildren of the world, that's what I'm saying. Like, going through this stuff, it helps you butt out your evil step siblings. Do you know? That's what I mean. What I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
It always provides like a remedy for the horrific monstrosities occurring in the greater zeitgeist, which wherever it could be, usually something evil. But
yeah, let us not think that evil is acceptable or promotable. Let us not think that we're talking like that. You know, in my eyes, I think evil is what it is. It is always going to be there. And we have to turn against it if we have the opportunity to make a change in it, or else just shut up and sit in the corner and wait your turn. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, when evil is in your direct line of sight and you have something to do about it or can do about it, and it's that moving to you and you feel that adamant about it, bring up a cause, figure out a way, you know. And, you know, this is where the hero is born, through adversity, through strife. The one who struggles and toils the utmost is the one closest to liberation. What does that statement mean to you? Are you going to slay the dragon, or are you going to ride that MFR? Which one are you going to do?
Or are you just going to stand in front of the dragon and it just breathes fire on you? And then
I didn't give you that option.
Quest over. Start again. Reboot. You know?
Right. I mean, it's simpler than we think it is, yet it's more profound than anything we've ever known. And that's what we are talking about here today. And that is how to fix ourselves to cure the world. You know, how? Are you going to come to terms or atone for your ability to affect the world through your definition or observance or observable platform that you are?
Log before twig, you're saying, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to tell anybody.
That what you said there. That's you know, that's what you just said there. It reminds me a lot about what Jordan Peterson said when he first came on the scene, and man, that he was like really vilified for just saying that. Like, oh yeah, like sort yourself out. You know, tidy your goddamn room before you start telling how people are around the world.
Right.
But he's got a good point. It's a very good point.
And what was he going through secretly when he was saying that?
Oh, what? His addiction?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Who knows?
Maybe it wasn't front and center in his mind, but his soul was dealing with what he was going through with them pills or whatever he was taking.
Yeah, it was just talking about addiction in here, in this next chapter.
Addiction is a means in which you try to comfort your lack of God in your void, and you're trying to fill it with happiness that is momentarily and fleeting and never goes away.
Yeah, so it says here, death and life are placed before everyone, and people choose for themselves of which of these two they want. On choosing between
or get busy dying, right?
Yeah, it also says that in Deuteronomy, Jeremiah, and John, that same statement. And yeah, the next bit, it said that soul, I missed that sentence, but it says like, yeah, if you drink too much wine, it leads to corruption. Wine corrupts. And then when the soul forgets her siblings and her father, sensual pleasures and sweet things deceive her. Hedonism, you know?
Yeah, well, that's what the Romans were caught up in, right?
Yeah. Man, is it me? Or it seems like the Western world is turning into Sodom and Gomorrah again.
Yeah, it sure is.
I mean, like,
I think really it's been that way forever, and you know, I think that's always just been.
I don't know, man. Like,
today, everything is so Steve, fast and so on point. I mean, instantly that. Steve, of course,
as a 90s child, though, I wasn't hypersexualized as a kid in school like is happening to the kids today.
Right.
I don't know. I just think maybe San Francisco, New York, London, those type of epicenters, those hellmouths for it all will maybe just, I don't know. Who knows what will happen? I don't know. I'm not predicting any
I know what'll
apocalyptic
happen.
event.
I know what'll happen. We're all gonna win the race that one wins. That's what's gonna happen. We're all gonna win the race that one wins.
Why is it when Lot's wife looks back at the destruction, she turns into a pillar of salt? Do you know why that is? Does anyone know why that is? Because if she turns, she can't turn back, and she turns back and turns into a pillar of salt. Drawn back to the lust of the physical cosmos, so then she'll die again, maybe. I don't know. That's a weird story, that is, Sodom and Gomorrah. Don't you think?
I have some thoughts on that, but
maybe we should go over that sometime.
Yeah, we'll go over that. We'll go over that after I do a little more study on it and figure out what it really means.
Yeah, I know Sodom means like on fire, and like Gomorrah is like, oh, I can't remember. I had looked it up, but yeah. All right, man. Well, anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm gonna have a cigarette and go to bed because it's 3 a.m.
brother.
But
yeah, good night, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate everyone for coming on, and I'll catch you all soon, man.
Much love, brother.
All right, dude. Take care. Take care, everyone in the chat. Thanks. Bye.
Bye, bud. Yeah, everybody. You know, I am not here to preach to you, to tell you to think this or to think that, to give you my perspective on how I see things at present. This vision I have of what is today will always morph in some way, shape, form, or in some other dimension or night or means of thinking can always shift, morph, assimilate to what my truth will be on some other occasion. You know, I'm not trying to tell you that everything I'm saying is absolute, because I can only know what I've experienced, and what I've experienced is as much, if not more, than you or three people, or then none of that matters. What matters is what I've experienced is what I'm sharing. And what I've experienced, I don't even know what I'm trying to get at here. What I want to share here is that we are all one thing in individual lenses or angles of the same thing. There are different perspectives. There are different ideologies, different ideas, different beliefs, different thoughts, morals, whatever the case is. And for us to accept each other on good merit, have faith in humanity, be kind, loving to those around you, to everybody in your world, can do nothing but help. So to experience love through yourself for others without expecting anything in return, that doesn't mean give and get shit on and beat down or abused or put up with people that are harming you or making you unhappy or vampiring off your soul or your loosh. You know, do not allow people that convenience. It's that simple. You make the decision whether or not to let things in to you, who you are. And so with the experience part of what I was trying to get at is, are you going to experience the truth for what it is? Or are you going to try to experience somebody else's truth or somebody else's thought on what is or what isn't? For each one of us, we have to define our own world, yet there is one truth that we are all part of. And we all need to find that individually within us to balance it out. And we all have the enmity within us. Every one of us has Satan within us. Every one of us has the ability to do bad things, to do volatile things, to do negative things. We also have the good in us, which is prevalent in all of us if we let it rise to the occasion of what we truly are. And I think what we truly are love in manifest potential. We can change the world through caring for everybody around us and showing that and projecting that and being at peace in ourselves with what we truly are. We are here to overcome the desire for all things that fill the void temporarily, to turn that desire into the will of love and goodness and God, or the all, the source. We don't have to label things to the point of exhaustion, yet labels are how we describe things. And that is where confusion lies, right? So we need to accept the labels that people consider truth. For I bet you in the end, I'll give my last nickel, that we all want the same thing, and that's to survive and to love, or to be loved. Right? That's all we want, to survive and be loved. Without those two, we have nothing. Without you, who would I be? We are all connected through the Spirit, right? We are individuals on a fence for every option we deem necessary on making a decision for. What are you going to decide to do? Ride the dragon or slay the dragon? You're going to decide to what? What are you going to decide to do? I don't even know what to say here. I'm going to decide to be caring, to not ignore evil, but to not project evil, to not promote negative thinking, to not give power to profit over humanity, to not buy into the illusion of the senses. That's what I promise I'm going to do. And I'm going to take full responsibility for what I've done in this world as far as consumer. Everyone who is a consumer in this world has contributed to the barge of plastic that's in the middle of the ocean, the size of Texas. Every one of us has. And for you to not take responsibility for that, you're fooling yourself. Every one of us has a responsibility for the consumerism of our world as a consumer, because you buy the goods that are destroying our world. I buy the goods that are destroying our world. I drive a boat that leaks gas into the water, into the lake I'm driving it in. Whether or not that gas is pollution, or whether or not that gas is part of the earth, or whether or not man has manipulated that for its benefit, for negative or positive, I will atone for every aspect of my part in this world, as far as good or bad. And I will own up to it. Can we all do this? Can we all love through agreement? I mean, can we all agree to love? Can we all agree to disagree? Can we all just accept each other for what we are and what we truly want, to survive and to be loved? There's nothing more than that, guys. Well, there's something more than that. That's heaven. You want to be in heaven for the rest of your life? I don't want to sing the rest of it because it'll probably offend somebody. And I'm good at doing that. But, I'm not a preacher. I'm not a, we all would be much happier if everything were peaches, unicorns, and rainbows, right? But then what would we do? What would be, if we would be like, has anybody seen the movie WALL-E? Where all the big people are on the ship that have flown off the earth because they left all their trash there. What does that movie speak to you? What does that movie say to you? What does it say to you? You know, the military-industrial complex is a part of our creation. We created it. Now, whether or not that was through ill-gotten ways or nefarious means, that is still something we were a party to, because we agreed. Not well, I guess I can't say that, but we are all part of this machine that is life, guys. I think we can change it, but it's going to be on an individual sense, an individual level, universe level, one version level. Reality is a downer. Maybe you should go watch some Disney cartoons. Well, oddly enough, we just said that, you know, these Disney cartoons, these fairy tales, these nursery rhymes, the Three Little Pigs, Little Red Riding Hood, the Three Bears, all of these, there's the Three Blind Mice. I mean, I could go on, right? All of these things are part of our reality because it's all interconnected to the same reason. We are all here. We are all here to produce the seed of light, love, and project kindness to others. Otherwise, we will never, never experience nirvana. The path is always full of stones, and along the way, we may stumble, but we must pick ourselves up and move forward, for there are many on the path. There are a lot of freaking stones on the path. There's only one of me, and my name is Steve Stone. What's up, Buzzachino? I've been wondering about you, where you been. Miss hearing your wise words, brother, your poems and such. Michelle Can-Am Free, what's up, sister? How you doing? Love you, missed you. Clip the bird's wings so it cannot fly. How did you know I just did that to my bird? War is big business. Ban wars. Anyone decides to start a war, the rest of the planet wipe them out. That's nice. Future children will have it far worse. Yes, if we continue on the path we're on, yes, they will. And then what shall we do? I do understand that, you know, there's always a push to a pull. There's always a light to a dark. There's, in the dualistic system that we are in, that we experience the world through, dualism is the precursor to knowing what you truly are. You are a dualistic nature entity or natured being. You are something that came from nothing, as a matter of fact, yet in the physical world, you are a dualistic creature. A lot of people like Ken Wheeler think that dualism is nonsense. Well, in the absolute sense, it is. Yet dualism is necessary for the friction of life to occur. For not for the female and the male, there would not be regeneration of the human species. Now, so there, in and of itself, is the fact that dualism exists, the innie and the outie, right? So are we going to proclaim to be better than everybody else and say that we know everything and you know nothing? I've done that in the past. I stood on my high pedestal and thought I knew everything. And where did it get me? More confused. So recently I've realized that, you know, the more I know, the less I do. You know, love you, Lisa. Take it easy. Staying groovy. You are pretty groovy, bud. Don't bounce too hard, Lisa. Don't bounce too hard. But hey, guys, I'm gonna bounce too. I'm gonna say, hey, you may become delusional and think you are it. Yes, people always do. Like people thinking they are Jesus or the Messiah. Very true. And this is the kind of thinking that gets us in trouble when we think we know it all, or we let our ego grab us, right? this is what I'm trying to, the most biggest, most important lesson I'm going to try to teach my remaining kids that are open to my teaching or guidance. I'm going to teach them critical thinking and how to think critically. And I think I have done that with my previous child that has up and moved out and moved on to in life. And she's a critical thinker. But I worry about my two younger ones, as any parent does. You are real. Don't let them make you fake. You can feel. Don't let fear make you shake. You are love. Don't let them break your heart. Rise above. Don't let them stop you taking part. Nice. Don't let them stop you taking part. Habitually. I said habitually. What did you say? Thought, what you habitually think, you eventually become. Thank you. You are what you eat. You are what you consume. Implied consent is how government operate. Remove the implied consent. Thank you. No one has sovereignty over who you are or what you do, unless you break the law and you're thrown into jail. But I mean, no one on this planet can truly have authority over you except for you. People can be broken. This is true. We are creatures of habit. Yes, we are. And our habits can can manifest in a myriad of ways, things, shape, form. Sleep deprivation does. MK Ultra. You know, I was thinking the other day, MK Ultra may be the media in our society. If you think about it, it sure tries to program you. You are not your thoughts or beliefs. Yeah, I think you are your thoughts. You are what you think. You are what you eat. And if you have a belief, you become those beliefs. Sent you an email, Jackson. You talking to me, Tim? Oh, you're talking to Jack. Oh, he's not here right now. The more horrors you endure, the harder and meaner you become. Yes. Yes, that's how a habitual offender keeps offending, right? I mean, because the system just continually brings you down, sets you in jail, sets you into the pit of despair, in which creates more of the same of what you got thrown in for, right? Yes. Yes, exactly. Yeah. The CIA is steering the ship with the media. I agree. Totally. So what can we do about it? What can we do about it? I'm an Oreo cookie double stuffed. I love that. Hey, buddy, I left a comment on a video earlier today. Is that how you got here? I think it is. Right? What were we talking about? I said, holy apple cores, Batman. There's someone that knows. No, nobody is shy about any of it. You know, I mean, the fact that we are all here discussing what we're discussing is pretty profound in its substance. You know, if we know what we knew we were gonna know, or if we knew what we would know before we knew it, would it be new or would it be known? That is a riddle straight from my middle, played on my mouth like a fiddle. Bada bing, bada boom. The butterfly effect coming at you. You're not wrong. Nobody's wrong. Like Bernie Sanders and those people. Feel the burn, baby. Feel the burn. You know, politics are what they are. They're a bunch of bullshit, bunch of elites, or, you know, oh, wait. No, politics are a means to bring us to truth. Whether it's like religion, whether or not we want to think it's good or bad, it still shows us our path to God, right? Because if everything's a lie, where's the truth hidden? Politics and politicians bring woes on to the people. But again, how did they get there? We've accepted the official authorities in our lives, right? It is said that in times of change, it is best to follow your flow, for in times of change, it is harder to lie to your heart. Confucius say, Posicino laments. They are the only people in politics trying to fix problems and help the majority of Americans. Oh, Bernie, yeah, and I agree with that. And yeah, I mean, think about, okay, now I'm just going to bring to light the stupidest comment I've ever heard out of any politician's mouth. And this is all I want to say about it. No, I'm not even going to say it because I'm not going to add or project the nonsense. So there is one instance where I've stopped myself to try to attempt to change my world within. And it was going to be a negative, derogatory statement towards, you know, somebody in our upper government. But alas, I've finally realized that I cannot say one thing and act another. I have to walk the walk that I talk so it doesn't sound like it's a squawk. Hiding from reality doesn't make it go away. No, it does not. No, it does not. And if you are in this world, participating in this world, you are within the reality that this world entails. How can one change this reality with what one has as far as limited resources, limited ability to reach the masses? There is no feasible way for a person without proper connections to, not even with proper connections, you'd get shut down like a freaking, you know, like a fire in the pouring rain. You would get smothered, and all that would be left of you is a puff of smoke. The propaganda master Ed Bernays. Politics, many ticks, blood-sucking parasites, vampire. Dwelling on negative shit makes you shit. Positive creates positive. Negative breeds negative. This is true. That which is within me is also that which is within you. And what are you gonna put in you? You're gonna put in bullshit. Never trust a hypocrite. This is true. You know, are we gonna just follow the carrot wherever it leads, or are we gonna be the one holding the carrot? Or no, are we gonna be the one that just does away with the carrot and just be? Huh? Can we do this? Is it possible? I think so. But it's only going to be possible through each of us in our own right, in our own path, in our own journey, in our own, you know, way to our freedom. Thanks, CIA, FBI, cops answer to the BLM, LGBTQT. Right. Everything we say and do creates ripples in a pond of life. Yes. It's an illusion until that illusion brings you down, right? Oh, here, I'm gonna do an encore with my ethereal tongue drum and tell me what you guys think. It may be a little oh man, it's a little sticky because I got fly paper on it. I got a arrange it right here. Hang on. Uh-oh. Did I lose you guys? Oh, my phone timed out. Hopefully I didn't get shut down. I think I did. Think I got shut down. Am I still on? Oh, I'm still on. Hey, everybody. So, I don't know what you guys think about the tongue drum, but since we're in the galactic background and I'm on candid camera. Here, I gotta take my. I'm gonna give you a little experience of my tongue drumming. I'm not that good at it, but I've had my moments, and I'll see if I can have one now. I suck at this. Let me try to change it. I suck. I just don't feel right about that because I suck at it. But I'll record myself in one of my grooves someday and I'll share it with y'all. And I'll show you that I don't suck that bad. I feel like I'm at Walmart attention shopper. Just hope. I don't hope anything like that on anybody. Yet cannot lower medicine costs for the sick and elderly. Lower the tone and raise the stone. Giving your goddamn motherfucking tax dollars to the fucking rich. The tribe of Dan, judge, were kicked out of Israel, yet they returned to judge. Think about this. Nice. Yes. Yes. The same personal responsibility group who gave billions in dollars to bail out their cronies, of course. Be provocative, not reactive. Very good. Judge not, for the level you judge, yourself be judged. Tone the crows. Blue Bottle Bunny Farm. You should keep it up. I was feeling the groove. Thank you. COVID-19 treatments going to be replaced with something that counteracts the effects of COVID-19 treatment. Never stops meds. No, it doesn't. And that pill is the reason why they were suppressing the ivermectin from everybody and telling everybody it was a horse dewormer and stop it, you guys. You know, all of that. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because I don't want to project the nonsense. Now, this is an exact example, representation of the money issue that we all face. Yet, you know, it's like, okay, so if the air is polluted and it's the only air around, are you still going to breathe it? I guess that's yeah, I gotta go too. 4 a.m. comes early. Yeah, it does. Good night, Need to Know. Thanks for joining us, man, and thanks for having the thought on the nice thinking cap as far as, you know, open mind. And, you know, we need, when you think you will become angry, right? I've been there, done that thought. I've been angry about all of this shit. And, you know, my kid just got over COVID. He was deathly sick, deathly ill, severely ill. And, you know, I was very scared for him. I kind of forced him to take the IVM, and within 2 days, he was better. So this tells me that this morning after pill that they've developed is probably 2 molecules off, or it's going to be very similar to the mechanism in which the free version worked. This new version they've developed, somehow with the taxpayers' money, they've produced a double-blind study in the works of, see, and I just go down this rabbit hole, but this rabbit hole has brought me to the understanding of what the true process of the bifurcation process, the splitting of cells are, and, you know, the inner workings of our physiology, because I've done a lot of research on biosystems lately, and it's kind of tied in to everything, like everything is, right? But yeah, guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna be like a fetus and head out. So, you know, love, peace, chicken grease to you all. You know, be what you want to. See. Give without expectations on get. Well, if you were in my city, I'd help you out, brother. I'd come over there and help you fix your house. If I'm ever down in Bama, I'll make sure I got my tool belt with, because I will stop by your house. As a matter of fact, I'm about ready to jump in my car to come visit you. That's a good one. Defend from the head, love from the heart, live by the truth, example from the start. With that, I'm going to drop the mic and I'm going to say, hey, I love you guys. Never give in to fear. Only give in to love. There is no higher love than the love that comes from above, the love that comes not from your mother, but comes from our Father. Our Father is everything. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Deliver us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.